top of the hour now, the latest on another record-setting milestone in the U.S. as the number of new coronavirus cases reached over 159,000 nationwide yesterday. That number surpasses Wednesday's single-day record of over 148,000 new cases and marks the 9th day in a row of over 100,000 cases. California's now reached 1 million coronavirus cases statewide, becoming the second state to do that shortly after Texas also reached that mark. Yesterday, the country also recorded over 1,100 deaths. The CDC now projecting that over the next 4 weeks, the number of new daily COVID deaths will likely reach 5,500 to 13,000 by December the 5th, which would place the total number of COVID-19 deaths at that time to between 260 and 282,000 Americans. Let's bring in now former acting director of the CDC, president and CEO of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Dr. Richard Besser. Doctor, we were warned early in this pandemic that the fall was going to be difficult. How bad are things on the ground right now when you look at all the numbers?
You know, when you look across the country, we are in a really dangerous situation, and for many reasons. We predicted that the numbers would go up. Viruses do very well in the winter. They survive longer. They hang in the air longer. We can't spend as much time outdoors. But you have on top of that people being tired of having to socially isolate and wear masks. Other people who have run out of money. The support that Congress gave people back in the spring is long gone. And so you have a situation where people aren't practicing the protective behaviors that they need to. And you have millions of people who have to be in the economy to put food on the table and to pay rent. Now, Congress has not stepped up and put in place the mortgage foreclosure protection, the eviction protection. They haven't extended sick leave benefits. They haven't done the things that our government should be doing. And so you have all of these factors happening at the same time. You have the holiday season, which will bring people together from around the country. That is a total ticking time bomb. And the projections that the modelers have put forward, I always talk about that as not being a crystal ball. If we don't see a change, if we don't see the country coming together, many of those models are going to be a best case scenario.
You know, Doctor, it's so interesting you talk about Americans being tired. They are so exhausted by this right now. You're right. I had to sit down with my children earlier this week, and I said, I know you're tired. We're all tired. Everybody's tired of this. But if you go back and think about all the precautions we took in March and April, how extraordinarily careful we were, things are actually so much worse now out there than they were then. So my message to them was, be careful. Don't let down your guard. Things are actually worse now than they were back in the spring when we were being so vigilant.
Yeah, in order for that message, that is the right message. In order for it to stick, we have to be hearing it across the board. It has to be a unified national message. As long as that message is allied in any way with any particular political, ideology, we're not going to get there. If 30% of the country says this isn't real, that we should just let this run its course, it's going to run its course. We need everyone to help. The news that really excited me this week, it came out of CDC. It kind of appeared in the middle of the night. But what it was that the science is now showing that masks not only protect people from you if you happen to be infected and don't have symptoms, they protect you from other people. They could reduce your risk of infection by up to 70%. And that's huge. That's absolutely huge. It should be something that's on the front page of every paper. And hopefully it could motivate people to say, look, you may not be motivated to help others around you, but have your loved ones wear masks. You wear a mask. This will help protect you.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.